I know boundaries are good, but they can actually also be toxic sometimes. And sometimes people don't even know that they have toxic boundaries. Let's shed a bit of light on what toxic boundaries are and how you can avoid them. So toxic boundaries refer to unhealthy or really dysfunctional ways of managing personal limits and relationships. So that means these boundaries sometimes can be too rigid or too porous, which leads to an imbalance in personal space, emotional needs, and interpersonal dynamics with others. And if you engage in these toxic boundaries a bit too much, they can impact your mental health, self-esteem, and your relationships. So how can you avoid indulging in toxic boundaries? So the first thing you can do is develop self-awareness by reflecting on your boundaries and identifying patterns in your behaviours and interactions with people, so you can actually recognise when you're falling into toxic boundaries. Number 2 is a bit of a difficult one sometimes, is learning to say no, so that you can actually prioritise your own needs, because we all know that you need to look after yourself in order to be able to look after others. So you can't always put other people first if you want to be the best for them. So when you do this, at first you might feel a bit guilty, but continue to be assertive and communicate your limits very clearly and confidently. It takes practice, even practice in the mirror if you have to. And number 3, this is going to take some time, but try and seek a balance between your rigid and porous boundaries until you're somewhere in between. Remember to be flexible, because boundaries are not always static. They should and can be adjusted based on context and the relationship and the situation that you're in. So in those situations, be willing to reassess and modify your boundaries according to the context of the situation that you're in. So of course, all these things that I've mentioned are not things that you can do overnight. Be patient with yourself and give yourself time to change and to grow, because growth takes time and it can be uncomfortable, but the results will be so worth it. Good luck.